Shabbat Shalom on this Shabbat VaYeitze. As you can see, this is the Shabbat of the Holy Ladder, with its feet firmly planted on the earth, reaching up as we reach as well. As the Torah turns this week, George has so magnificently gave us the entire Torah. In summary, we have Jacob's dream. We have Jacob and Rachel meeting. Jacob and Lavan strike a deal. Lavan gets the best of him, well, for a little while. The 12 tribes are born. God remembers Rachel and opens her womb. And then there's the narrative of the stolen idols as Jacob, Rachel, and family make their getaway. And, my friends, of course, as I always say, that's not what I'm going to be talking about this morning, but rather going back to Jacob's dream, and we're going to be doing a little bit of Hasidic study this morning as to how to unpack and understand what happened, who we are in that, and why this teaching and this story lives within us. Before we sang, we are climbing Jacob's ladder. We are climbing Jacob's ladder. We are climbing Jacob's ladder. Get my inner Paul Robeson out. Children of Havaya. But here, my friends, is a completely different singing and telling of Jacob's ladder. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Vision so divine, y'all spirit was there.
Four living creatures moving as one, wings outstretched, shining like the sun. Eyes all around, burning bright within. Ezekiel stood amazed at the glory of him.
Four living creatures moving as one, wings outstretched, shining like the sun.
Eyes all around, burning bright within. Ezekiel stood amazed at the glory of him.
Ezekiel saw the wheel, saw the wheel.
Yeah,
Ezekiel saw the wheel, saw the wheel.
yeah. Spirit of Yah, moving through the land. Mysteries revealed by his holy hand. What he shows no man can spin. Just like Ezekiel on the wheel again. Neos Vio, turning in the sky, full of holy fire, lifted up on high. Spirit in a vision, glory rushing in. Power of Yahweh, the will
Keep spinning.
We saw the heavens open, the throne of flame, the voice of the Most High calling his name. Wheels within wheels moving side to side, where the spirit went the wheel would glide. Fire in the center, light in the storm, God's glory shining, breaking the norm. Wheels keep turning, vision won't end. Same spirit moving now as it did back then. Ezekiel's wheel,
Turn it in the sky.
full of holy fire, lifted up on high. Spirit in the vision,
Glory rushing in.
Power of Yahweh, the will keep
Spinning.
Yeah,
Ezekiel saw the wheel.
y'all still moving,
Still moving.
wheel within a wheel.
Wheel within a wheel. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ezekiel saw the wheel, saw the wheel. Yeah, Ezekiel saw the wheel, saw the wheel. Yeah, Ezekiel saw the wheel, saw the wheel. Yeah, Ezekiel saw the wheel.
He saw the wheel. Looks surprised to me. Ezekiel saw the wheel. He was as surprised as you and I when we have a most divine experience. So our Parsha begins. Well, before we go there, that wheel is all about the holy Merkava, the holy chariot, as Ezekiel looks up in the sky. And he sees, the temple has been destroyed, and so we need to take the show on the road. And so that is what that chariot's all about. So says our beloved Reb Marsha. So now, the beginning of the Parsha, and let's connect the Merkava, the holy chariot, to Jacob's dream. Let's do it. Yaakov went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran and encountered a certain place. The word for encounter is VaYifga. Whenever we see the word Yifga in Torah, we know something is going to happen that is most surprising, same times disturbing. Yaakov, had spent the night there, for the sun had come in. He took one of the stones of the place and set it at his head and lay down in that place. Raise your hand if you have ever used a stone or a rock as a pillow while you were camping. Ha Vayachalom v'hine sulam mutzav arza. And he dreamt, chalom. And here was a ladder, a sulam, was set up on the earth. It was standing on the earth. Mutzav arza. V'rosho magia hashamayim. Its top, its rosh, reaching the heavens. V'hinei malachei Elohim olim v'yordim bo. And here, malachei Elohim, the angels, messengers of God, were going up and down the holy escalator, going up and down on the sulam. So, as promised, let's take a look at what Reb Yitzchak Bedichev, the Hasidic master, has to say about this line, V'yachalom v'hine salom, and he dreamed, and here was a ladder. The Hadam batchila avodoto. When a person begins a spiritual practice, avoda, right? Practice can mean work. It also means work for and serving God, devoted to serving God. So remember, as this continues, this is Reb Levi Yitzchak. This is a perfect example of a Hasidic teaching, of psycho-spiritual teaching that connects the Torah reading to our lives. Adam b'tchilat avodato, when a person, Adam, begins a spiritual practice, this heart is a fire. Their heart is a fire with the belief that his actions will affect the cosmos. Mit lahav libo, lahav is a fire, b'kirbo, within him. V'chushvo sha'al yado minhagim kol ha'olami ha'elyonim, all of the worlds, that his actions, how he behaves, will affect all the worlds, olamot, elyonim, high and low. And then their heart strengthens, libo, right? Chazak, and deepens their spiritual practice. So what is he saying here? You begin a spiritual practice, you're very, very into it, right? You're very excited about it, and you understand, you sense somehow that your personal spiritual practice is affecting everything. It is not a belly button, kind of activity that was a navel gazing it's referred to. It really has an effect because it has an effect on our actions. Let's continue. V'achar kach, כשכבר חזק בעבודתו, אז אין חושב כלל רק להשם יתברך. After which, v'achar kach, they can no longer think of anything but the Holy One. All right, so what's happening here is that in every action, we sense that we are filled with and surrounded by the Holy Presence. Right? That we are surrounded and filled with the Holy Presence. V'Hashem Yitbarach. This is beautiful. V'Hashem Yitbarach Yitaneg bo. Divinity rejoices in them. For they have become a chariot. Shehu Yehei Merchava L'Shechina. They've become a chariot for the holy presence. You, me, we are, we're holy Ubers for bringing God's word and all of midot, God's characteristics, to our lives and into this world. So now we continue with Reb Levi Yitzchak. V'hine sulam mutzav arza. Behold, there was a ladder, mutzav arza, planted in the ground. Shechu mutzav arza adam ba'olam hazeh. So what he understands this to mean is that you and I, we are planted in real life in this world with our tops, with our rosh, v'rosho magia shemayim, with its top reached the heavens. B'avodoto magia lemala. And through their holy work, their holy avodah, through our spiritual practice, we arrive at transcendence. You didn't know that, did you? Or did you know that every move you take, every act you make, you are doing it with God's oneg, God's delight, when you are carrying out God's will, which means being you, which means being your unique self. Coming in for a landing. In red is right from our parsha. V'hine malchei Elohim olim v'yordim bo. So what is this all about? About the angels going up and down and up and down. Olim v'yordim, olim v'yordim. Here's what Reb Levi Yitzchak, the master, says. Shemalchei mala v'talim al yado zehubo al yadei adam. The heavenly angels ascend through the very means of the individual's spiritual practice. It is through you, it is through me, that the angels go up and down. Think of that also as our words of prayer. They go up and they come down. It's a beautiful aquifer. Is that the word? You know, it's like nature of the clouds being seed. We seed the clouds. We seed the heavens with our prayers. And then it rains down blessings on us. Amnam achar kach shekavar chazek v'avodato. And after a person becomes grounded in their spiritual practice, az choshev v'hine Hashem nitzav alav. The sense that Yah stands atop, not it, not the ladder, but you, but them. That divinity stands atop each and every one of us when we strengthen our practices and do our work, l'shem hashamayim, for the sake of heaven. This works even if you don't, quote unquote, believe in the G word. This works just because this is the way that reality was constructed, for each of us to make a difference, for each of our actions to touch the highest of highs, and that too, my friends, is a Hasidic understanding. Hu al avodato sheyehei merkavad shechina v'haven. By means of their spiritual practice and their having become a chariot for the divine presence. That's how we understand. Mary Rita, you're digging this, I know. This is how we understand through our practices that Shekhinah is empowered through us to make a difference in this world. And I love in the Hasidic teachings that end with the word v'haven. Haven is from the same word mevin, like understand. So it's as if we read all this, oh, and you get it. Yeah, it's like natural. This is not easy to get. We'd have to go over this, do a repetition again and again, a chazara, ha-Torah, again and again and again to really live into this. But I hope that each and every one of us can take with us Reb Zalman's teaching, our beloved Reb Zalman, who teaches that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. I think Sting said the same thing, right? We are spirits in a material world. Rabbi Jonathan Slater teaches that Reb Levi Yitzchak, in this teaching, invites us to feel that this process is one in which we can engage. It's not just about Yaakov, Jacob. It offers us the possibility of becoming the chariot, where our actions, rooted on the ground, affect the heavenly realms. And so, my sweet friends, on this Shabbat VaYeitze, may we be blessed to know that while our feet are firmly planted in this world, our actions reverberate throughout all four worlds, touching you, touching me, touching Yah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.